I'm proud to tell you that this video is going to be brought to you by G Fuel, and in celebration of May, G Fuel is launching Anime with a ton of cool products specifically geared towards all of us who love anime, hence the name Anime. Dragon Ball Z, Naruto, My Hero Academia, Mobile Suit Gundam, Attack on Titan, and so many other series are available on the website in the form of energy formulas packed with all the vitamins that you need and just enough caffeine to get you going for your day, which most importantly, this cannot be understated. Unlike a lot of energy products that are out there, there is no crash and there is zero sugar. Two really huge selling points of why I personally support G Fuel. And they've even got energy themed hydration formulas filled with electrolytes. You guys have seen me with G Fuel before, either here on the channel with the affiliate promotions like this one, or you see me on my Twitter account posting some of the G Fuel products I own. I've even bought some for myself this month with the Dragon Ball Z strawberry hydration tub and the Sage Mode energy formula, because we're going into summer season, so I got to put in some long nights to get work for my editors for some of those longer lore videos that are coming. In typical anime fashion, I am going to need you guys to send me your energy by clicking the affiliate link in the description and in the pinned comment, so you can buy whatever anime themed product you want. It doesn't have to be Naruto, it can be whatever anime strikes your fancy, and when you do so, make sure to use my promo code KAGE to get yourself a discount. As more time passes with Boruto 2 Blue Vortex, one of the things that seems to be a reoccurring theme is the fact that Kawaki might have come into part 2 as this big bad tough guy, but he's been getting beaten like he's a Cherokee drum on a repeated basis over and over and over and over again, and put to sleep for almost half of the chapters we've gotten so far. It's led to fans in real life asking, did this guy even train? Why is he being so much of a bum? Which we can say with absolute certainty that he did train and grow stronger, but the gains he's been getting, they haven't been as impressive as Boruto. And even Boruto made it a point to ask Kawaki, did you even train? And so with chapter 2 of Boruto 2 Blue Vortex here in less than 24 hours and Kawaki is once again headed to the battlefield, I wanted to have a discussion with you guys about the future of Kawaki and why the upcoming chapters that we're going to be getting, plural, over the next few months, they have the potential to shift the direction of Kawaki's character and why it hinges on a certain mad scientist making his presence felt in a major way. As a reminder, the chapter review will be out tomorrow, barring any setbacks with the editing that the chapter review editor has been working on for the last couple of days. So keep the notifications turned on. We'll probably do Himawari or Sarada for the thumbnail. I haven't really decided, but again, barring any setbacks, we should have the review tomorrow, and it's a longer review than normal, almost 30 minutes. So jumping into the topic at hand, I think most of us would agree that the purpose of Kawaki being torn down via all the losses he's been getting, it's been to build up to the moment where he's pushed into a corner where the only options he has is to either submit, which he'll never do, or take a sledgehammer and tear down the wall he's been pressed up against, or find a way to bum rush whoever it is has been standing in front of him, pushing him into that wall. He's not someone who is going to take too kindly to that feeling of helplessness when it comes to being overpowered, because for the most part, it's out of character form. Based on what we know regarding chapter 10 of Boruto 2 Blue Vortex, Kawaki is once again rushing to fight Jura, because this time he knows that Himawari, she is Jura's target, and he's gonna do everything to protect Naruto's daughter from harm, because in spite of him sealing Naruto and Hinata away and wanting to kill their oldest son Boruto, he hasn't yet been given a reason to want to murder Himawari, and so he's still willing to protect her. However, I want to bring up the possibility that after everything is all said and done, Kawaki doesn't find himself being above paying a visit to Amado, or he ends up being in a situation where he's approached by Amado for an upgrade. I don't think we can fully rule it out just based off of the themes of the story when we look at the narrative closely. Just as Naruto and Sasuke, they were similar to each other, but they were also a yin and a yang to each other, Boruto and Kawaki, they share a very similar dynamic. Boruto started out this arc as a naturally talented prodigy who got praise and attention from everyone when it came to his talent, except for his own father, who he could never get him to acknowledge him despite how far he progressed in his shinobi training, which ultimately led to him cheating during the tuning exams and taking shortcuts, getting that behavior reinforced unintentionally by Naruto, when for the first time Boruto started getting recognition from his father for all of his accomplishments, which led to Boruto setting aside his own guilt and shame and to continue cheating to get the eyes of his father to stay on him, which ultimately led to Boruto being publicly scolded and taking the steps towards learning what hard work eventually meant after everything was all said and done, and he eventually earned his father's respect and his praise when he recovered from the situation. Boruto, even now, he continues to embody that spirit of the shinobi, that shinobi they must endure, that they must gain power through the hard work required of those who endure. Just as Sasuke told him at the end of part 1, he's gonna have to do so if he is truly Naruto's son and he wanted to overcome the obstacles that fate put in front of him. Kawaki, on the other hand, he was made into a cyborg by Amado and had his entire body remodeled with ninja tech on a cellular level. This led to a child being given the keys to power that would allow for unnatural growth, and that growth would speed up even faster when it came to the Karma Seal being factored in. The only thing that he truly knew throughout the years was getting power in the fastest way possible. It's why when Naruto took him on as his student, there were times where Naruto more than once told Kawaki that he needed to stop using the ninja tech in his body and stop using his Karma Seal for combat, but instead learn to properly use his chakra. And for a time, it looked as if Kawaki was giving that path a serious consideration until Naruto suddenly lost Kurama and Kawaki quickly began to regress. It's one of the more fascinating aspects to Kawaki's character. A boy who only truly understood power and the hierarchy of power, which was what the Car Inners followed, much like the Otsutsuki clan, which makes sense. Their leader was an Otsutsuki. Kawaki found himself unwilling to go along with the shinobi teachings of his sensei because Naruto was no longer the unquestioned alpha of Konoha, and Kawaki was growing more and more worried by the day that something bad would befall Naruto, either by Code coming for revenge or Momoshiki taking over Boruto's body. And it did not help that Amado was taking every opportunity to gaslight Kawaki in the process. It wasn't until Boruto beat him into submission and compliance that he even found himself being willing to give the path of the shinobi another shot, and even then he said, "I'll try it for a time." But it wasn't too much longer after that he found himself being open up to the temptation to seek power through other methods. It's in line for his character, even if by that point in time he never knew that the Karma Seal had already been transplanted back onto his body by Amado. Kawaki pretending to be Naruto's firstborn son, it is a big deal, but he's also continuing to regress in the opposite direction of what you would expect from Naruto's child. Yet we could make the argument he's on the pace to be even more desperate than he ever was when he first used omnipotence, because that's going to make him more dangerous than ever before. A desperate man is a man who isn't above doing things that are socially unacceptable, particularly if they are an avid practitioner of consequentialism, like we see that Kawaki is, where his actions, they can be justified even if morally they're not the right choice. So far, after the 3-year time skip, he's seen Code come back into the village. He has this army of claw grinds and they're attacking, and while he and the other Konoha shinobi, they're able to beat them back, you know, to a degree, it really stings him in the heart to know that it was Boruto who took out a large number of them, to the point where people are saying that he was the one who saved the village for an unknown reason, yet they still want to kill Boruto because, you know, Kawaki is gaslighting people into killing Boruto, and it was Boruto who took down Code, one of Kawaki's targets and one of the people who Kawaki sealed Naruto away in order to protect him from Code. The idea of Kawaki not even being able to be the one to bring down Code, it's gotta sting, because it makes you question, if you're Kawaki, did you even do the right thing? Did you make the right choice by sealing Naruto away? Even if you only briefly ask yourself that question, even if you only ask yourself that question one time, all it takes is one time for a seed to be planted. Even if you view Code as someone who you're strong enough to kill, say Kawaki believes he could walk up to Code, slap the ramen noodles out his mouth, eat the rest of the ramen noodles in Code's bowl, and then bash his head in, which Kawaki has given the indication he believes that he's that guy in that regard, you still run into the issue of, does Kawaki have the power needed to defeat Jura and the other Shinju? And based on the small sample size we've seen, it doesn't look too good for Kawaki's character. he's got his run-in with Jura, who didn't just hit him with a two-piece no biscuit, but Jura basically ate the biscuit that came with the two-piece right in front of Kawaki and asked Kawaki what biscuit, and Kawaki, because he got punked out like a little chump, he didn't challenge it. The boy just hit the water tank and he went to sleep, and then he woke up to challenge Boruto, tried to take out his frustration on him, and he got taken out in one hit by Boruto, who wasn't even using his full power. This whole time, Amado, he monitored the situation, and Amado, he has a lot riding on Kawaki's safety that cannot be understated. His daughter's DNA is inside of Kawaki's Karma Seal, and he needs him to transplant said DNA onto the Delta clone of Amado's daughter. With the threat levels continuing to rise up to this degree, he has all the incentive in the world to make sure that Kawaki has everything he needs to survive, especially with enemies like Jura, who has such a low win condition. If Kawaki is eaten, then the world, it is destroyed, and Amado, he doesn't get the chance to revive his daughter, and even if he could, there'd be no world left behind for her to return to. If Kawaki doesn't go seeking some form of an upgrade from Amado, then Amado would approach him, as we've seen, and Amado, he isn't above gaslighting Kawaki if it means getting him to do what he wants, all while making Kawaki think, hey, this is my idea in the first place. For Kawaki, depending on how the battle with Jura goes, where he and Delta are likely going to be backing up Himawari in the next chapter, it could lead to him getting annoyed that so many uncontrollable variables are starting to pop up one after another. And instead of doing what you expect the son of Naruto to do in the face of such adversity, where you would expect him to pick up his big boy panties and start training, he might very well just go see Amado for an upgrade. It is a fast and it is a quick path to power without the hard work, which is fitting for a character meant to be on the other side of the coin of Boruto. Again, they're yin and yang to each other despite their overlapping. Whereas Boruto was shown understanding what his master Sasuke and his father Naruto was trying to teach him in the vessel arc of the story, which is that ninja tech was merely another form of tools for a shinobi to use, but they could never be used to replace one's own power. Kawaki has an overdependence on ninja tech and the Karma Seal. He and Boruto, they're on opposite ends of the spectrum, whereas Boruto doubled down on his own training as a shinobi, progressing at a rate where even Sasuke was shocked at Boruto's growth, according to what we saw in chapter 5 of Boruto 2 Blue Vortex. Kawaki, while he has improved, he has been left behind, and he appears to be getting exposed as more and more time passes on. That is something that works narratively, and it also serves as another source of conflict to be brought into the story as we build to that eventual moment where Kawaki declares, "The age of the shinobi is over," and Boruto replies, "But even so, I am still a shinobi." While I personally don't think that this is the right idea, I don't like the idea of Kawaki being this power junkie who's seeking out a quick fix. He's scratching his neck while he's visiting the mad scientist Amado, who is basically a drug dealer in this scenario, selling ninja tech upgrades at a 2-for-1 special, handing out free Karma Seal samples, telling Kawaki put that lighter under that spoon, tie that band around your arm, princess, and inject this ninja tech loving into your veins like it's heroin. I don't think it goes against the narrative that's set up. I think it falls in line with it. Even if I don't like it, I can see the narrative reason behind that. It's just that while Kawaki is nodding off and he's chasing the high that he gets off of the power that comes from the ninja tech and the Karma Seal running through his body, this video on the left breaks down every kaiju in kaiju number 8, and the one on the right is perfect for Naruto fans trying to get a fix.